Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to start creating and designing the new project in the Windows form or working with the Gemini. Now, let's do it. If I take a look, this is the final application that you're going to learn it after finishing this video tutorial. Easily, you can write your message here, and after that, press the send. And then the response will be something like this. You can see this is the Gemini, and this is my own message. Then the result is something like this. For instance, I can say what is last number and send it to the Gemini. So you can see the sending over here. Then please provide the sequence or context. So this is the response of the Gemini. And this is my own message or the question that is sent to the Gemini and the response over here. So let's start working with it. At the first step, let's close this one. And based on the link in the description, you can download the project. And after extracting it, we have something like this. You can see the WinForm app Gemini. This is come over here. And after that, I have the Windows Form Gemini and click on it. So this is the result. As you see, we have something like this. So it has the form one. You can see it over here. And this is the solution explorer. So if you lost it, you can come to the view. And over here, I have the first option, solution explorer. And we have the solution over here. So we have the form one. And if I click on the form one, it is the design of the first form or the only form inside this project. So this is the form. And if I come over here and click on the send, as you see, we have all of these codes and these are by the C# language. And if I scroll top, at the top, we have three basic variables. You can see the first one is Gemini API key. The next one is Gemini model name. And the next one is Gemini API URL. In the next and upcoming video tutorial, I'll talk about how to get all of this from the Google website. So don't worry about this. Now, if I run the application, I can see the result. So come over here and write the hi. This is the hi. Send it. And let's see the result. So you can see hi there. How can I help you today? Now come over here and come to the project. And after that, come over here and get inside the solution itself. Right click on it. Add the new project. I want to add the new project for ourselves and create our own Gemini application. So come to the new project. I want to work with the desktop projects or desktop computers. So the first one is C#. The next one is Windows, and the last one is desktop. You can see the desktop over here, or the application for the Windows systems. Now, if I take a look, I have the WinForms app, and it is the project template for creating the .NET Windows form. Don't select the .NET framework. It's really important matter. Select the .NET Windows form app, and this is. Come to the next. Over here, we need to write the project name. So it is something like this. The project name, we can say the My Gemini. This is My Gemini and it is over here. Now come to the next. In this window, we need to select the .NET version or the engine of the application version. So we have all of these options. Let's select the .NET 9. In the future, you can select the .NET 10 or 11 or other updated versions. But currently, it is the latest version, the .NET 9. Now come to the create. So this is the new form. You can see it over here. And if I take a look, you can see it here. And come over here. This is the My Gemini. Right click on it and set it as the default project. You can set as the startup project or default project, and it turned to the bold text My Gemini. Now I have the form one, and let's select the form one and resize it something like this. I want to design this one. So go over here and up to this, come to the properties or right click on this and come to the properties. At the first step, we need to assign the text. So it is the My Gemini. This is My Gemini. You can see it changed over here. Then come to the properties. and set the startup position. Set it to the center of a screen, and this is then the application will be available for us at the startup at the center of the monitor or the screen. Then we have the show icon to show or hide this icon. Come over here and hide it. Then we have the minimize, maximize, and close. I don't want to maximize this form, so this is the maximize box and set it to the false. Now I have only the minimize, then the close, and it looks great. Also, if I take a look, I have the color, and this is the back color. So you can see the back color over here. Let's select that. Come to the web, and I want to select one of these or one of these predefined colors. So for instance, let's select this one, or you can select any of the colors that you want. Now I need to get inside the toolbox. This is the toolbox, the location for selecting and managing the available controls to be added inside the form. If I lost it, come to the view, and over here I have the toolbox. You can see it over here. So at the first step, we need to add the rich text box. If I get inside the form, you can see this is, and it is the rich text box. So come to the form one and come to the toolbox and rich text box. You can see the rich text box over here inside the commons, or you can search for the rich text box over here in the search text box. So this is the rich text box, and put it over here. After that, up to this one, up to here. Now come to the properties and assign the name for that. If I get inside the form one and we have the name, it is chat R box, RT box, or rich text box. Let's copy that. Come to the next and come to the property and paste it inside it. The question is it necessary to assign the same name like the sample one? You can change it, but I want to copy the codes from the form one. So I strongly recommend you to prevent any unexpected errors to use the same thing. After finishing this project, you can change the names to any name that you want. So this is come to the properties. And if I take a look, I have the scroll bars. Currently, it is both the vertical and horizontal, but my favorite one is the vertical. So this is the vertical. And if I come to the sample over here, and let's ask what is the number and send it. So we have the vertical scroll bar and it is over here, you can see. So let's select this, come to the properties, and it is the scroll bars, the vertical scroll bars. Also, if I take a look, I have the next one, and this is the word wrap or multi-line text. So let's select the true for the word wrap. After that, we have the message, and it is the label. Its name is a status label, and indeed it is over here. You can see the message sent successfully, or if I write hi, it's changed to the sending. After sending and after finishing it, I can get the appropriate message for this, the error or the message. So, hi, how can I help you today? So this is the result. Now come to the form one, get inside the toolbox, and over here I have the label. You can see the label over here. Come to this, get inside the properties, and after that we have the auto size, and by default it is true. Let's change it to the false. So it's not auto size, and I wanna change the size like this. Now come to the border style and set it to the fixed single, and this is the label. Also, if I come over here and come to this one, I have the text align. You can see this top left. Also, you can use the middle left or the center left. So it is at the center. You can see the middle left. Then we have the text that we need to delete that. Then we need to assign the name for the label. So come to the form one, and this is the name. And this is a status LBL. Come to the copy. Come over here. Let's select this. and paste the text over here. So it is a status label. And after that, we need to add the text box. This is the simple text box to enter the question. So, who are you? Who are you? And let's send it to the Gemini. Be patient until getting the response. So I'm a large language model trained by the Google. So let's come over here and come to the form one. Let's resize this up to here. Get inside the toolbox. Over here, I have the text box. So you can see the text box and easily drag and drop. Come to this and resize it up to here. But I want to make it multi-line text box. So come to the properties and we have the multi-line and select the true. Don't forget to select the text box first, then get inside the properties. For instance, you can come to this and get inside the properties. This is the text box that is selected and set it to true, multi-line true. Then we can resize it up to here. And after that, we have the next properties. For instance, we have the font. Let's select the bigger font. Come to this and select 16, for instance. And this is the first one. After that, we have the scroll bars, and you can see the scroll bars none. And let's select the vertical. If I take a look over here, I have the vertical scroll bar here to scroll vertically between the data. So what about the name? Now come to the form one. This is the text box. It is message t box or text box. Copy that. Come to the form one. Select this and paste it over here. The message text box or t box. And in the last step, I have the send, and you can see this btn send. It's not important matter. The name of the button. So I can come over here. Come to the toolbox. Then we have the button and put it over here up to this and resize it like this. So it is the btn and come to the btn and say send. This is the send, and if I take a look, we have the name. I can say send btn or anything that you want. The name is not important matter for the button. So this is the result. Now come to this and get inside the properties, and I want to change the font. Let's select bigger font, something like 16. And it is the Seago. You can see the Seago UI. Or you can use your own or other fonts. So it is completely optional, the font size and also the font type based on your needs. My favorite one is Seago UI, then regular, then the 16, and come to the OK. Okay, so the bigger font size is the bigger text inside this and also this one. Now if I take a look over here, we have this as the bold text. So if I select this, select the status label, I have the bold font. So let's select the font, come to the properties, and let's select something like this, and also let's select the bold for that, and this is the result. Now it's time to start running this project. At the first step, we need to set this project as a startup. So let's select the Gemini or my Gemini and set as a startup project. Then the bold name is available over here. You need to change the startup project only one time. Now let's select this. After that, come to the start, and it is a start without debugging. And let's run and let's see the result. Before doing that, let's close this. Let's be patient. So it's done. Now I have the My Gemini. You can see over here. I can minimize this. Also, I can write something inside it or even something inside this one. But I want to disable entering the text inside the message text box or rich text box. So come over here, get inside the form one, let's select this. And over here, I have the read only and set it to true. So if I run, I can see the result. Now it's changed. And if I take a look, it is something like the form one. So in the form one, I have the read only and it is true. I do it exactly like that, and it is the read only set it to true. Now I can write anything inside the rich text box. Everything is inside the text box and send it. Okay, I enjoyed it a lot. Now we learned how to create and design our project. What about the next step? In the next step, we need to start working with the code. So stay with me. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily start writing the C# code for the send button, and it is the first part or part one. Now let's see. First, we talked about the form one and how to design it. In the next step, it's time to start writing the code for the send button. For better understanding, if I take a look over here, I have the Windows form and it is the app Gemini. So right click on that and set it as a startup project. Now if I click on this one, I can start working with it. So it is the debug mode, or you can start without debugging. Now let's start without debugging. It's very simple and straightforward. Currently, I don't wanna debug the code. I just want to show you what I'm gonna do in this video tutorial. So this is the form one and it is this one. Now let's come over here and come to this and write hi and send it. So it's sending and the result is the response and the Gemini, and it is this one. So we have the time at the first step. You can see the time over here. Then it is the fixed part, and it means this is your text or your question. So this is the question text or the text over here. For instance, I can say your age, and let's ask it. So you can see this is your age. It's sent over here. And after a couple of seconds after sending it to the Gemini and getting back the response, so we need to add the Gemini. But I got this error. It's not important matter. So if you got the response, this is the normal or correct response, and it is from the Gemini. You can see the time over here and also the response text. And this is the answer text or the response text. Over here, I can't get access to the server. So you can see the question is this, your age. And after that, we have the response time over here. Then the error and fail to get response. This is the error and it means I can't get access to the Gemini servers in this step. Maybe because of this matter that I'm disconnected from the internet. So let's writing the code to add all of this and also this part up to the end. But in this video tutorial, I don't want to get the response from the Gemini. I'll only return the simple text. Then in the upcoming tutorial, I'll talk about how to send the question to the Gemini server and get back the response and show it over here. Let's do it. Let's come over here and come to this one. So let's come over here and select the My Gemini, right click on that and set as a startup project. So I have the form one over here. The only thing I need is copy and pasting the code. Get inside the form one. This is, click on the send and click on it. So I have all of these codes. Let's select this up to the end, up to finally up to here indeed. You can see it's starting from this curly braces up to this curly braces, and all of the codes are between two curly braces. Let's copy this, get inside the form one, click on that and paste it. As you see, I have some errors over here, and you can see the BT and send or append to chat history up to the end. As you see, I have the error for the append to chat history. If I find it, Control F on the keyboard, as you see, I have the same thing over here, here, and up to the end. And that this is the method to show the text to the user. Which text? This text to the user. And its name is append to chat history. It is responsible to show the text inside the rich text box. So it's a really important matter. Now come over here, and this is the append to chat history. Let's copy that, get inside the form one, click over here, and this is Control F. And if I resize this, append to chat history, and let's see where it is. And you can see it over here, append to chat history. As you see, it's used up to 3 different parts inside the code. You can see 3 references. So we need to copy all this method. It's really simple and a straightforward method. So let's come over here and let's come to this, copy that entirely up to the end. Or you can expand this and start from here up to the ending curly braces. This is the ending curly braces and this is the opening curly braces. Let's copy that, get inside the form one and scroll down. And after this one, indeed, after this over here, indeed, if I come over here and collapse this, I can add it over here. After the send button, click and paste it inside that. So it should be outside of the send button, click event. Currently it is private. You can write anything that you want, or you can leave it nothing by deleting that. But personally, I prefer to use the private because it is the private method, and I'm gonna use and I'm gonna work with it only inside this form, in the form one. So come over here, and as you see, I have fixed some errors, and you can see the btn send over here and also over here. What is the btn send? Indeed, if I come over here, and this is the name for the btn, and it is btn send, but we have changed the button name. So come over here, and its name is send btn. So let's come to this and say send btn. So you can see the send btn over here. Let's copy this, scroll down. I have another one over here, and this code is responsible to enable or disable the send button. At the first, I said we need to disable that. Then the user can't click on the button multiple times. After sending the data to the Gemini server and get back the response over here, we need to enable that at the end. So we have the finally. Then we need to write the code to enable the send button and also focus in the message box text. The select method in the message box, and this is the message box. It means focus on this text box, and it is over here. You can see. So if I take a look, everything looks great and amazing. Let's talk more about this code. At the first step, we need to check if the message text box is empty or not. If it is empty, so return and do nothing. This is the message text box, and you can see message text box. So do nothing and return because we haven't anything inside it. Then we have the status label, write sending, and you can see this is status label, write sending. Exactly, if I take a look over here, write hi, and this is the sending. You can see the sending is over here. Then we need to add this part of the code, and finally this one, and change the message sent successfully. So come over here and change the status label for color to the blue, and it is the blue. If I take a look over here, you can see it is the blue. Sending is blue. So this is the sending. Then change the color to the blue. After that, we have the message text box, text, and trim. Trim means, hello C#, please delete the free spaces at the beginning and at the end of the text of the message box. So trim the message box text and delete and remove any spaces at the beginning and also at the end. Then clear the message text. So if I take a look over here, you can see the text is cleared. So if I write the hi and click on the send, you can see it's sending, then the text is clear. And after that, we need to append to the chat history. We need to add the U, and the U is over here. If I take a look, you can see the U is over here. Then user message, and this is the user message, the text over here. And after that, we need to add the time. So this is the time. So if I get inside the append text to history, so I scroll down and we have the append to chat history. It is over here. So we need to get inside the rich text box. Into this one, we need to get inside this, and selection is start. And selection is start is the chat art, and the selection is start is the chat rich text box text length. It means come to the end over here. Then select nothing, and it is the 0. 0 means do nothing, and just go to the end over here. And after that, we have this selection color, change it to gray, and then append the text, and this is the time. At the first step, we need to add the time. So you can see the time at the gray color over here. And then we need to set the selection color to the color. And if I take a look over here, I have the color and it is a maroon. The maroon is something like the red. So the text is red, and you can see the U is in the maroon or the red color. Now, if I take a look over here, you can see the time, then assign the color to the maroon or the red. Then selection font is this one. Indeed, I want to select the bold font. So I'm going to define the new font. And the font for this one, I want to get the font from the rich text box. Or if I take a look over here, let's select this and get the font from this property, the Seago UI 16. Then the type of the font is bold. So it is bold. Now, if I take a look over here, then append the text to this one and use the sender. So this is the sender. If I come over here and come to this, you can see the sender is this, is the U. So the U will be added over here. And if I take a look, the U is added over here with the maroon color. And after adding the U, it's time to add the text, and this is the message text. So come over here and come to this part. I have the selection font, and it is the chat rich text box font, then the regular, because I want to add the regular font for the question or for the message. This is the question, this is also this is. So it is the regular font. So over here, I have two \n. Each \n means one simple line or the empty new line. If I take a look, you can see the new line over here or here, here, and here to add this. After that, scroll to bottom. You can see add message, add timestamp. Scroll to bottom, and this is the selection start, and select the length of the text inside the chat rich text box text, then scroll to caret or scroll to the end over here. If I come to this and write hi one more time, come to the send, you can see error sending message, and it is the caret is over here at the end. So the scroll is over here. But if I come to this, for instance, and write the hi, then send it, so you can see something like this. It's automatically scrolled to the end over here. So this was about the duty of the append to the chat history. After adding the U, it's time to disable the send button. Then we need to get back the response by calling send to Gemini. Which one? This message. This is the method name that I'm going to talk about it in the upcoming tutorial. So let's come over here and easily say response equals to what? Equals to, for instance, the response by Gemini. So this is the response by Gemini, and add something like this, and also skip this part of the code. Indeed, I don't want to send it to the Gemini server and get back the result. I'm gonna only show response by Gemini. So append to chat history, append this one, the Gemini, with this color, with the black. And also this is the response. Exactly like the U as you see over here, but the color is the black. So you can see this one is gray, this is the bold, and also it is the black. And this is the black text, but it is regular font. So everything is done. And if I take a look, you can see we need to add the message sent successfully. And you can see, let's see. So it's not working correctly. It's not important matter. It is because of my problem in the connection. So we have the response over here. It's working completely. And after that, if you got any error, so show the error and its color should be red. And this is the error message. And the EX is the error or the error object. So I can get access to the message of the EX or the error. Failed to get response, error sending message. Exactly what we have over here. Failed to get response, error. And this is the message text. And if I take a look, you can see the message text. An error occurred while sending the request. This is. Then write the error sending message, and it is over here. You can see error sending message. You can change the color of this to the red. So it is over here, the red. And finally, if we haven't any error, easily enable the send button, enable this button, and then this is the message box and select that to get focus on this message box text after sending and getting back the result. This is for the original one or for the WinForm app Gemini for the original project. But I'm going to work with the form one. So this is the form one. Let's change the name of the form one. Right click on this and rename. So come to this one and change it to the main. This is the main form. I'm going to change it to reduce the errors. So let's change it. Now it is main form. You can see the main form over here, the form one. So if I take a look over here, I have the output or error list. I haven't any error currently. Come to this and I have the my Gemini, set it as the startup project. And this is. Now if I click on this, I can start working with it. So let's build without debugging. So come over here and write hi and send it. As you see, everything is added over here. You can see this, then the U, then the hi, and this is the response by Gemini, and message sent successfully. Exactly what we have over here. If I get inside this, message sent successfully, and you can see it over here. Also, if I come over here and let's write something else, for instance, this, and send it. So you can see the U or the question is over here or the message. Then we have the result here and everything looks great and amazing. Okay, I enjoyed it a lot. Now we learned how to write the C# code for the first part of the project easily by adding the message over here inside the rich text box or the question in it. Then get the response and show it over here. After that, repeat it for the new question and new answer. And also we learned to enable and disable this and also change the text of the error message or the status label. Okay, I enjoyed a lot. In the next and upcoming tutorial, I'll talk about how to work with this one, with the send to Gemini method. It's really tricky and amazing. So stay with me. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to start working with the Gemini by talking about how to prepare your project to get access to the Gemini web service. Now, let's start. If you want to work with the Gemini, you need to have three items. The first one is Gemini API key. The next one is Gemini model name. And the last one is Gemini API URL. Let's start working with the Gemini model name. So this is the second one. It's very simple and straightforward. Just come over here, get inside the Google and search Google AI Studio. Then get inside the Google AI Studio and it is over here. In this page, I can get access to the current and available engines or the Gemini models to work with it. If I take a look over here, let's click this. As you see, I have the Gemini 2.5 Pro and under that we have the name. And this name is exactly what we want, Gemini 2.5 Pro. And after that, we have the Gemini 2.5 Flash. You can see more information about each item over here in this panel. So this is the next one, next, and next. The question is, which one is better? Personally, I prefer to use the latest version. So we have the Gemini 2.5 Pro version. Also, we have the older versions. We have the Gemini 2, the next one, and also next one. So we need to get this text. We can write it inside the simple notepad file. So we need to save this name inside the notepad. So come here, this is the simple notepad, and you can create something like this, the Gemini info. So I have the Gemini model name. Now for better results and for faster copy and pasting, get inside the Google and search Gemini models and get inside the AI google.dev, the Gemini API docs models, and get inside this page. Over here in this page, we have a list of available Gemini models, including this, and this. And if I take a look, I have a list of the different models. So the first one is Gemini 2.5 Pro, exactly what we have over here. You can see it is the latest version. So if I take a look, it is the latest version and it has different input types: audio, image, video, text, and PDF. And we have more description about it over here. So we need to use this name exactly, Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy this, come over here, and paste it inside this. This is the model name. The question is, can I use all the versions? Yes, you are completely free to use any other versions. For instance, I can scroll down and get access to this. You can see it needs only the audio. Also, if I take a look, Gemini 2.0 Flash, it accepts the audio, images, videos, and the text. But we have the PDF also over here for the Gemini 2.5 Pro. So let's select the latest version, and it is this one, Gemini 2.5 Pro. In the next step, we need to add and create the automatic API key. If you wanna send the request to the Google Gemini, you need to have the personal API key. It is dedicated to your project or to your email user. So if you want to create and generate the API key, you need to add the new project to your Google. So come here and get inside the Google. So this is the Google and search for the Google Cloud project. How to create the new project for the Google Cloud. Scroll down and over here you can see the console.cloud.google.com. Click on that and get inside this web page. Now at the top I have the my first project. Let's click on this, and if I take a look in the all, I have a list of available and current projects. I have three projects: the Gemini API, my first project, and my project 49615. So you can use one of these projects, or you can create the new one if you want to use the newer, or if you haven't anything in this list. I have the new project, click on that and start adding and defining the new project. So the project name and also the organization. It is something like the group and we call it organization or the location. By default, you can leave it empty. So this is the project name and you can see the limitation for the project. I have limited up to 10 projects. So click on the create. I have 3 projects, so let's cancel this one. So if I take a look over here, the next one is the Gemini API key. It's very simple and straightforward. Just come over here and search for the Google AI Studio and get inside the AI Studio google.com, and this is the result. At the top I have the get API key, or find it somewhere like this, or you can scroll down and find the get API key. Click on it, and as you see I have the sample over here and it is the quick start guide, and at the top I have the URL. So if I take a look, let's zoom in for better results. I have the HTTPS up to the and up to this part. As you see, this is. Let's copy. Don't copy the double quotations from here or here. So let's paste the code exactly inside this. I have the HTTPS, and after that, if I take a look, yes, it is the Google up to the generate content. So this was the next step, and it is the Gemini API URL. Now I have the API URL, and finally we need to add the API key. To do that, we have a list of the available and existing APIs over here. You can see both of these are added to the Gemini API. If you have one or more, you can copy that easily by clicking on this and click on the copy, or the next one and click on the copy. And if you don't want to use the existing, you can easily add the new API by clicking on the generate API keys. Click on this. From this list, you need to select the project. So I have three projects: Gemini API, my project up to the end. Let's add it to the my project 49615. Click on that, and everything will be automatically generated after clicking on the create API key in the existing project. Or you can select other project. You are completely free to use your own project and click on this. After a couple of seconds, the new API key will be generated for the project, and you can see it is over here. So let's copy that, and it's copied. Get inside the notepad and paste it over here, and it is the Gemini API key. So this is the Gemini API key that is dedicated for my project. Which project? It's added over here for this project. You can see the project over here. And in any condition, if you don't want to work with this, you have the delete button over here to delete this selected API key. It's very simple and straightforward. Okay, I enjoyed a lot. Now everything is ready for me to start creating my own project. In the next step, we need to select our project. For instance, if you want to work with the Windows form, you can select the Windows form project. Or if you want to work with it in the MVC or even the Razor page or even inside the Blazor, you need to get access to all of this. So don't hesitate to get your own Gemini data and stay with me. Thanks, and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to start finalizing the codes for the send by talking about how to write the C# code to send the request or the question to the Gemini and get back the response, and show it over here. Now let's see. Firstly, we talked about this step, and I can easily write hi and send it. So it's sent over here. But in actually, this is the fixed text response by Gemini. If I click on the send, let's come over here, click on this, or before doing anything, let's select this, come to the main, and over here let's type this one. Great. So we have the response, and it is the send btn click. So if I take a look over here, I have the response, and response is the simple text. Let's select this and delete that up to here. Now I have the await send to Gemini user message. We need to add this method send to Gemini. So let's come over here, come to the form one, click on the send, and scroll down. I have the send Gemini over here. So let's find it. It's found. It is the async task. You can see it over here. Send to Gemini. And it is the simple task, and you can see something like this. So come over here and let's select the task, copy all the codes up to here exactly. If I take a look up to this part, or you can come over here and let's select this and copy. Let's select copy, come to the main CS, and over here I have the append to chat history. Then come to this and paste the code exactly here. So it's done. Now I have some errors. If I take a look, this is the JSON convert, and we need to add the JSON package to the project. It's very simple and it's straightforward for this, after that for this and this. To work with the JSON files, you need to add the JSON package to the project. Indeed, the response of the Gemini request is in the JSON format. So we need to convert it to the JSON or give it back from the JSON. Now let's come over here, and if I take a look, this is the same Gemini. So come to the tools, then the NuGet package manager and the package for the solution. Come to the browse. Over here, let's write JSON. This is the JSON, Newtonsoft JSON. You can see it over here. It's really famous one. So it has really big number of downloads, up to 6.47 billion times. Wow, it's really big one. So let's select this, come to the project. I want to work with the My Gemini. So let's select the My Gemini. And after that, I have the latest stable version. Let's select that. Come to the install. I want to install it to the project, to my Gemini project. So I got these errors, is not important matter. Come to the main, and this is the main. Come to this, and let's select this. Cut. So I haven't any error message. Why I got this error message? Because if you want to add the package, the project should be built before adding the package. So come to this and write something like this one and comment it. So I haven't any errors. Now if I come to the build and build the project, I can see the result. Come to the output. So it's started, and let's see the result. So I have the one success. It means everything is done. Now get inside the NuGet one more time and come to this and install it. So let's come over here and uncheck this one more time and add it and uninstall. Let's see the results. Let's do it one more time. Come to the JSON soft and let's select the project and install it. So this is the result. After a couple of seconds, everything is installed successfully. So we have the message over here, installed. Also, if I get inside the Solution Explorer, over here I have the dependencies. Inside it, I have the packages, Newtonsoft JSON. So let's get inside the main over here and undo. So I'm over here indeed. Let's undo this. Also, let's undo this one. So it's added over here. So as you see, I have the error over here, here, and here. And we need to add the using. So let's select this, come to the potential fixes and using Newtonsoft JSON. And this is the Newtonsoft JSON. And it's added over here at the top. If I take a look, you can see the using Newtonsoft JSON is added over here. And in the next step, I have the JSON object. So let's select this, come to the potential fixes. And over here, I have the Newtonsoft JSON link and add it like this. So it's added successfully without any problem. Now I have only two errors. The first one is this text and also this one. If you want to fix this, we need to define them one by one. The first one is Gemini API URL, the Gemini API key. Exactly what we have over here. If I take a look, in my previous video tutorial, we talked about how to create the Gemini info.txt. So we have something like this. We have the Gemini API key. We talked about it. Also, we have the model name and the URL. So let's get inside the form one over here. Click on the send. And at the top, we have the definition for the Gemini API, model, and also URL. All of these are consonants. So let's copy everything, get inside the main, and come to the send. So it is over here. And if I scroll top, we have something like this over here. Let's paste the code exactly like this. So it's added successfully without any problem. So if I take a look on this, the first one is Gemini API key. Don't use my API key. This is only dedicated API key for myself, for my project. And if you want to use it in your project, then your project won't work. You need to generate your own API key, as I mentioned in my previous tutorial. So let's select this, copy, come over here and paste it like this. After that, I have the Gemini version or model version. We have to copy that. This is the version. Finally, we have the URL. So let's select this, copy, come over here and paste it exactly here. If I take a look inside it, we have the first part up to the models. After the models, I have the slash. Then we have the model name up to here. Then we need to add the generate content after the model name. To get something like this, currently I have the model name. So come over here, and to fix it, I added the $sign at the beginning and put this one over here and also over here. Or I can do it from scratch for a better understanding. Let's select this and let's select this one also. And this is, after that, add the $sign at the beginning. This is the result. Now I have this part. Let's get the model name, add the curly braces, and it's added over here. But instead of this, we need to get the name of the consonant. Let's copy this and paste it over here. So it's done. Now it is exactly what we have over here. So it's really simple and straightforward. It's done. Now let's select this and delete that entirely because we did it over here. And let's undo this to fix the problem. Great. And this is the result. Now the error is fixed. So we have the address up to here, up to the models. Then the Gemini model name will be replaced by this. Then generate content, and everything will be added automatically. So if I take a look over here, now I have another error, and this is the final error. I have the send to Gemini. I can find it. So this is, if I take a look in the error, you can see the error over here. It means you need to add the async to your method if you want to work with the await. So if I take a look over here, I have the private send btn click, and before the void, let's name it async, and everything will be fixed automatically. So this is done. Okay, everything is ready for me. Now I have added successfully the required codes. So in the next step is time to get access and get deep and look deeply inside these codes for better understanding. It's very simple and straightforward. So come over here and come to this. This is the send btn, and previously talked about this. And also we have the send to Gemini. Come to the Gemini. This is the send to Gemini. At the first step, we need to define the model name, and it is the content. We have the content, then we have the parts, then we have the text inside it. We have the message. Don't worry about this. This is only the model. So it is the model of the response in the JSON. So if I come over here and come to this, click on the content, and this is, I want to debug the code. So let's select the debug and execute the project. Come to this and say hi and send it. So I have the JSON request. Now I have the JSON request, and as you see, this is something like this. It is the content, then this up to here. So if I take a look, let's copy this. It's a small one, so come to this and paste it over here for better understanding. As you see, it is the content, and this is the JSON format for my request or for my question. Indeed, I want to send this one through the Gemini server. So it has the content, you can see it over here. Then I have the parts, and it is the array, you can see it over here, and it has one item inside it. So I have the text, and it is the height. This is the message. So this is the JSON format of my message or my question. Now come over here and come to this one and go to the next line. Then we need to generate the URL. This is the URL. So if I view, let's copy this one and let's put it over here. And if I take a look, let's paste it. So I have the HTTPS generative up to the models, then the Gemini. This is added over here. You can see the Gemini 2.5 Pro. Then we have the key, and it is the API key that is added over here based on my API key at the top. So it's done. Now it's time to create HTTP client and send and post the data to the Gemini server by executing this line of the code. I have the content, you can see the content. Then we have the URL and go to the next line. So the result is the response. You can see the response over here. We need to be patient until finishing and until getting the response. So it's done. Now I have the response. You can see something like this. And if I take a look, it has the status code up to 200. It means it is the successful operation. And if I take a look, I have more information over here, and we have all of this, and it is the content. So you can see the content over here with all of this extra information. But we need to convert the response to the JSON because its format is JSON. So come over here and get the response. You can see the response over here. Then the content, read a string async. So come over here, and this is the response content. And if I take a look over here, it is something like this. Indeed, this is the response from the Gemini server, and it is the response content. It is the string. So for better understanding, if I get inside the Google, search for the online JSON viewer. So we have the JSON viewer.stack.hu, or you can use one of all of these items in websites. This is my favorite one. So come to the online JSON, put it in the text and paste the code. So this is the JSON response. You can see the candidate, then we have the content, the part. Exactly what we have over here. If I take a look, we have the content, then the parts, then the text equals to the message. Exactly what when it comes to the viewer. Wow, what happened? The response has the candidate, then usage metadata. If I take a look on the candidate, then we have the first item or item index 0, come to the content. Inside the content, I have the parts. Inside it, I have number 0 or item 0 or first item. Then we have the text and the response. It is the hello, how can I help you today? This is the response indeed. It is inside the parts, then content, and the candidates. So come over here, and it's time to split the response and convert it to the JSON. So the response is successful or not. Yes, it is successful. So skip this part of the code. If you got any error, and if you can't work with it, or if you got any error in the response, we need to create the error object, and this is the response content, and convert it to the JB object or JSON object. Then get inside the error, then the message, and convert it to a string. If it's null, assign the unknown error and also something like that. Then get back, then show the exception. API error, error message. This is the error message over here. So the response is successful and we haven't any errors. Come over here and get back the data. This is the response content. You can see it from the JSON and generate the text. I want to get the candidates, the contents, the parts, the text. Exactly what we have over here. You can see the candidates, contents, parts, 0 up to this one. So it's exactly what we need. Indeed, I want to get this part of the text. Hello, how can I help you? This one indeed. So come over, go to the next line, and this is the generated text. Hello, how can I help you? And return it. So continue, and the result is hello, how can I help you? Exactly what we have. So let's uncheck this. Come over here. Your age, your age, and let's see the results. Your age sending, and after that, I don't have age because it is only the Gemini. Well done. Now everything looks great and amazing. And after watching this video tutorial, we learned how to create the new Windows Form project, how to prepare the project for working with the Gemini, and how to write the appropriate C# codes for that. If you're watching this video tutorial from the YouTube, then you can get the project download link from the description. And if you're watching this one, and if you're watching this video tutorial inside the tutorial website, then you can download that from the first section of this one. Stay with me. Thanks and thanks, goodness.